End of day 66 finds us with this thing starting to look more like a truck. Front end structure is on. Ran the rear wiring to the taillights to the bed assembly. Think I'm pretty good back there. Might change a couple of connections at the back. I'll probably steal some connections off of that 78 that's still sitting in the driveway, ready to go get crushed. I keep putting off getting it out of here because I keep robbing little parts off of it, so it'll probably stay until we're pretty much done. So had to make some minor adjustments to brake lines when I put the inner structure on, a little bit to the power steering. So starting to lay out the wiring. Also got the exhaust, the start of the exhaust on. Goes down, I don't know if you can see down there, it stops right after the O2 sensor. I could not, Larry gave me the whole piece, the whole damn thing. He took it all off in one piece, which I'm grateful for. And I may use some more of this, but right now, because it was all, God, it was all just about brand new. I hate to see it go and get chucked. So right now, this is all I could use. Apparently, I mean, there's a lot of similarities between this truck and the 92, but apparently that cross member right there is not one of them. That cross member would not allow me to put this in a much bigger piece. But I had to rethread the studs coming off the exhaust manifold. I decided not to try to replace them because I was afraid they were going to break. So I thought, you know what, if I can save these things, I'm going to save them. So I rethreaded them. Still need to get a couple of pieces. Pick up a couple of exhaust nuts today. Should be good to go. Finish bolting those on. And then getting some of the wiring laid out. I had to adjust this brake line some too to fit the inner structure. But, you know, like I said, it's starting to look a little bit more like a truck. So tomorrow will be probably a trip to Pick and Pull to get some more wiring. I've got one that I've been robbing some parts off of. One that I robbed the exhaust, not the exhaust, the accelerator linkage from. I'll probably go back, and it's a straight 6, similar. So probably run back and get a bunch of the wiring off of that. And that's probably it. So end of day 66. Starting to look like a truck, but that's just, you know, an illusion. Day 73, and we got a happy cat. But we have no shortage of challenges in the shop. Well, I don't know where to start. Start here. Mocking up the seats. Just a little overview of what I'm doing and how this is going to be done, at least for now. I put in the regular tracks, factory tracks. Took them off of the seat that came out of the aqua colored cab. That seat was completely nasty and junk, so stole the tracks off of that. 1.5 inch square tube will go from track to track. It will bolt to the original bolts. This will have a tab coming off of it. That'll be welded on, and it'll bolt to that. Same with the back. The 1.5 by 1.5 will bolt to that. I got some wood shoved in there right now just to get the right angle. These are the mounting brackets from the seat, which we will do one of two things with. They will either bolt directly to a bracket that will be welded onto the 1.5 inch, or, because the other ones are right, you can't really see them there, kind of under there, but they line up fairly well with the 1.5 inch on both front and back. So it's either going to be that, or I will take the bracket, the original bracket from the seat, and I will cut it all the way along the edge, all the way around, you know, a little ways down, maybe like that much down, just the same along the sides. Bolt this to the seat like it was, and weld the whole entire plate to the 1.5 inch, both the front and back area. And then I can angle that front to back to get my seat angle correct. So that's the one of two ways that it's probably going to happen. So I've done this before in a truck I built a long time ago, square body Chevy. And I had the seats mounted on the 1.5 inch and had a console mounted in the center. And when you use the lever, it just moves the whole assembly. So no different than a bench seat. I mean, it's the same concept. You're moving everything together. It's much easier to do. Works just fine. I just have to make sure that it's centered and it's got the right tilt to it, because this seat, because it's a center seat out of a minivan, does not have a bunch of adjustment on the back. Let me tell you, when you get in this seat, and especially when you fold down these armrests, because they have plenty of room for them, this seat is one of the most comfortable seats I've ever sat in my life. So I'm hoping that this all works out, because I will dig sitting in that seat. Shifter is in the perfect spot. Column wheel sits perfectly. Might have to get just a little more tilt up than what I've got right now, but not much. I think it sits pretty good. How about you, Shopcat Jack? Yeah, she likes it too. All right, on to the next project. Wiring. Got the ignition switch in. All right, you ready? Here we go. Oh, yeah, nothing. Just got the switch in last night, kind of laying all that stuff out, trying to figure out the home for everything. It's been so long since I've done a video, I can't remember what I talked about last. I think I was talking about going to Pick and Pull to get the harness for it that I wanted to use. I had the harness from Larry, but it had no power distribution box, so I wanted to, that's the harness from Larry's truck. So I ended up with this, which is basically the whole harness from a 95. Same exact setup. Everything was the same. So went with it. The computer connection is a little bit different. Not the connection itself, but the wiring layout. We're going to, I'm getting what I call a pin map, which tells us where each one of these go, what each one of these do. So it's a little bit different, I believe, from the 92 to the 95, but not much. And we're going to know what those differences are as soon as I get I have the pin map for the 92. I do not have the one for the 95 yet. I'm picking it up from Larry tomorrow. So we'll know the exact differences and if there's many. But this is the harness. I wanted the power distribution box, so I'm going to need it. So I'm just going with this for now, see if it works. Cam's been out doing a little bit of work on it last night. And we went, that's the actual engine part of the wiring harness, which is already on this engine. This is the connection for that, and that will bolt right in to here. So I'll check the pin out for that and see how that is. Got the radiator in, got my fan on, we're looking good there. I don't know a lot about this radiator. This was the radiator out of that 76. Looks to be in great shape. Can't find a damn radiator shop in the world anymore that can actually test something out and pressure test it and all that. So it'll get tested when we fire this thing up. Got a little bit of spaghetti, electrical spaghetti going on down here, but we got the basics of it. And that'll be worked on more tomorrow night when Cam's here with more tools than what he had the other night. So hopefully by the end of day 74, we'll at least get some power inside the cab and see how power is fun. Make yourself at home. Get real comfy there. Get some power to, everything here. So getting everything plugged in, making sure we have access to everything when we hit the power to it tomorrow, and make sure that, windshield wiper motor is going to work. Obviously we won't be able to check lights, but flasher should be able to flash. We should at least hear the flasher mechanism flashing. So Still have to get through this and pin these locations to the right spot. Don't have a whole lot coming out of there. I don't think my horn is going to work. I'll have to set up a different style horn, but the only thing really coming out of this column is going to be signals, turn signals, because I'm not utilizing the flasher from this column. I'm using the one that was on the dash, the factory one. So yeah, that's that. Clint Casco at Casco Logic's got one of my rotors done. We test fit that just to be sure, and it was perfect, straight on the money. Woody got my wheels painted, and got the tires mounted, only to find out that it's like a semi-gloss charcoal. Wearing my shop lights, so it doesn't really pop, but outside this has a pearl in it. This just looks really good. And those suckers are meaty, and I love that. What I don't love is that 3 of the 4 of those wheels were straight and true, and this one was not. So I've spent too much time on the phone with Jegs, who has not been able to get a hold of US wheel, but I sent them a video of it spinning on the balancer.
Can you see it?
Yeah, you can see it there. See a beard down at Import Masters, and it is not true. It is definitely got a wobble in it, and with these steamrollers, you will definitely feel it. It is that far off. So they're sending me a FedEx tag, and that big bad dog is getting dismounted and going back to Jegs. Very frustrating. Spent a lot of money on steel wheels. More money than I should have on steel wheels. And it is a piece of the project that you would expect to not even have to think twice about. You pay for the wheels, you pay for the tires, and you get them painted, and you get them mounted and balanced, and you bolt them on. They're new wheels. No, doesn't work that way apparently. So now they'll have to build another wheel, which who knows how long that'll take. But it did get ordered today. Jegs did. One of the managers, Greg, customer service at Jegs, very helpful. The first gentleman I spoke to was not as helpful as I'd liked. They were going to take care of the wheel, but there's more to it than that at this point. So Greg at Jegs, very helpful. We'll see how this all ends up. I'll keep you all posted. So I think we've already talked about this. Everything's ready here. We're ready to bolt on a rotor, but I'm gonna wait till he gets done with the other one, and then I'll put them both on at the same time. I still have to finish. I got to press in these studs. They're not in all the way, so I got to get those pressed. I'll probably run out to Wendell's house and use his press to finish pressing those in. Trying to think of the latest and greatest on everything else. I think that's it. No shortage of challenges, like I said, and I have hit the wall, so to speak. I'd like to read you a text that couldn't have come at a more timely moment, to be honest with everybody. I should have already had it pulled up, but I didn't. My apologies. Please hold. So I was in the middle of, well, I'll just say it, struggling, really struggling, and trying to figure out next step and what's going to be able to get done and what's probably not going to be able to get done. Because like I said, this is day 73 out of 100. Is this truck 73% done? No. Mark, you can skip through this part. Okay. Here's the text that I got. Have you hit the wall yet where you're not having fun anymore and maybe this wasn't a good idea? that was perfect timing, because the second I read that, I was thinking, that's exactly what is happening right here. I have hit the wall. I'm second guessing everything I've done for the last 60 plus days. And was this a good idea? In hindsight, no, it really wasn't. But you don't know that when you get into a project like this. You're gigged up, you're excited, you want something that you're going to enjoy, and you're willing to put the time in for it and do it. And you know you got a pack of support with all your friends and your family who will back you because they believe in you. So you try it. And I put everything I can into it, and so have a ton of my friends. But it's hard. And I'm not giving up. But man, it's hard. We'll see how the next week goes. We'll take it week by week, and we'll see how it goes. But this is day 73, and phone's about to die, so end of day 73.